Yo, what's up everyone? My name's Dave and you suck at programming. Today, we're going to talk about running commands over SSH. It seems kind of simple, right? Why are we talking about it? Well, there are some fantastic ways that it can break, and there are some things that you should be aware about if you're doing this. Say you have a script that logs into a machine remotely and wants to run some commands. This will be of use for you, all right? So pay attention. Let's go. I have a remote machine I can log into, void. And on this machine, I can run something like, let's say, hostname. Cool, it runs the command, it gives me the output, it gives it right back to me, I can do whatever I want with it. That's super neat. Well, on that machine, I have a script for us to use. It's in bin, and the script is called args. This script is really simple, I'm not going to go into detail how the source works, but basically it shows, or it echoes back the arguments you run it with. So if we were to run this command, you would see, called with 0 arguments. Cool, I gave it 0 arguments. Well, let's give it some arguments. 1, 2, 3. Cool, called with 3 arguments. 1, 2, 3. Hey, it looks pretty good, right? What about if I did something like, I don't know, hello world, but then I made it a string, so it was just 1 argument. Uh-oh, it broke. It thinks it's 2, but I gave it 1. What if I put a bunch of spaces? It loses those spaces. That kind of sucks. What if maybe, I don't know, do I put the whole thing in string? Like, what do I do here? Uh-oh, same thing. Let's back up. What's happening here? Well, this whole command, when you're passing it to SSH, is being ran through a shell. sh-c is being run on it, and it's interpreting this whole thing as one big string. There are some ways you can work around this. I could put double quotes here, and this is great until your data gets funky. What if your data has quotes in it and it's a variable expansion on the local end that's being sent to the remote end? This could break in some really, really fantastic ways. So the thing to be aware of here is if you're passing data up to the remote end, and the data might be a little bit more complex than just some CLI flags, you're going to want a different mechanism. Maybe you SCP up a configuration file or something, or maybe you pass it over standard in. So I'm going to show you how to do that right now. Let's rework what we're doing. Let's say our data looks like hello, space, 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 world. Well, we can pipe that to SSH void, and we could read that on the remote end. So we can use cat. Cat reads from standard in and writes the standard out. Cool. Hey. Works how we expect it to do. But we want to run bin args, right? We want them to be sent as arguments, but we're getting 0 arguments there. So what do? Well, this is where xargs comes into play. We can do xargs. There's a GNU extension for delimiter, so we can delimit on new lines. And we could run this, and what happens? Called with 1 args. Hello, world. Hey, that looks pretty good. What if we were to make this standard in a little bit fancier? What if we were to say, hello, world, new line, foo, space, 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 bar. What happens now? Hey, that's pretty cool. Look at that. It actually correctly identifies it as 2 arguments. So there are some ways to work around this, but at this point you maybe don't want to pass this as arguments. You want to rework your script to maybe read this data and format it however you want it. If you're in control of a script on a local end, try SCPing it to the remote end and just running it there. These are definitely some things to be aware of when running SSH on your local machine.